YouTube? Okay.
And you're now live on
4
Instagram.
people.
We're live? Are we live?
Mm-hmm.
What's going
We're
on,
live.
guys? Happy Friday, happy Friday.
Yeah, we're excited for the holidays, right?
That's right. Next week is Thanksgiving, but more important, next week is Black Friday. It's kind of a big deal for retail and e-commerce, am I right?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of calls about what we're going to be having for Black Friday, so that's why we thought it was super important to have this live today.
There we go. And then I'm going to ask my video team, it's saying comments may be turned off on YouTube. Can we take a look at that? See, make sure comments are enabled. That's right, guys. If you're watching on Instagram, we're also on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we're also on Instagram. It's kind of a first time double live.
Yeah, it's the first time, and also comments need to be on it because we want this to be interactive. We want your questions, we want to answer them. If we don't know, we'll get an answer for you, so that's why we're here.
That's right. So we got the dual monitor set up over here. I'm going to be monitoring the comments on YouTube. Christian, you can maybe help us out as any comments come in on Instagram. We're going to give it just a moment before we get up and rolling. In the meanwhile, if you guys are already joining in, thank you. Let us kick off the weekend
Let's
with
go
you
to
guys
Instagram.
already. You going to monitor the Instagram comments? Excellent. If you guys are already tuning in, go ahead and drop in the comments where you're watching us from. I know we got a wide range of audiences. You guys are in the East Coast, you know we got our Philadelphia location since 1986. We got our demo center in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, freshly operated. If you need demos in the Pittsburgh area, hit up our boy Adam, we'll take good care of you.
That's right. And then also for the middle of the country, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, about 30 minutes from DFW Airport, we got probably one of our newest locations, the Carrollton, Texas office. If you guys have been watching from Texas, let us know in the comments. Drop some hearts, we're about ready to get started. We've got a kind of a recipe card here. We're cooking up a Black Friday meal.
Yeah, we have all the ingredients actually on our table here to make our Black Friday recipe basically for our Thanksgiving feast. So
There you go.
what is the main ingredient though that we're looking at this table here?
All right, guys, we'll get the ball rolling right here. For our ingredients, we're going to be working with the DTF printer. We'll be working out with our DTF Station water-based textile printing ink. We got our new DTF Station hot peel film. We got some Smart Blanks ring spun cotton garments. We got our Prisma Swing Away 1620 heat press, and we got a thick coated double-sided sheet. With all those ingredients and the right ratios, we're going to have an awesome presentation for you guys.
Awesome, and I know we have these on our table here, but all these items are available on our website, right? To purchase.
Everything is live right now, including this brand new Prestige A3 Plus R, the latest desktop DTF solution from DTF Station. You're a big fan of this machine.
Yeah, no, there's so many features on this guy that I love. If you are doing DTF or looking to get into it, this is the machine to look at, or our A3 Plus. Both are amazing options, but this guy here, we're printing already. We have our whole roll feed system. We're going to cover that in just a second.
There we go. I see we already got the viewers coming in. We got the heart reactions, the 100 signs, Blue Eyes Designs, Okie in the house. Thank you so much for joining. We got some love from Redondo Beach, California. I see Tar Design 740. You guys ready for some Black Friday previews?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So throughout this demonstration, we're going to be announcing just some of the items that will be on discount for our big Black Friday extravaganza. All the information should be going out next week, Wednesday, I believe. And then as soon as it strikes midnight, going into the Thanksgiving long weekend, all the deals will be live and active. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys are getting our emails, newsletters, all that good stuff. I think we got a print that just came out. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's go ahead and, what's step one, S?
All right, so step one, this is going to be pertaining, I'd say, to really any printer with white ink. It's going to be to shake the white ink. Now, Vince, what can you tell our beautiful audience? Why are we not shaking the white ink with this printer?
Yeah, with our Prestige printers, actually what we've done is we've taken that out of the equation. So where our white ink bottles are, there's actually a circulator which actually rotates your white ink, and also there's a U-shaped reservoir here that actually circulates your white ink as well. And so gone are the days of you every single day shaking them by hand. I don't know if you see it in here. So here's our circulator here. Then also in our white container as well, there is actually a stir on a timer. So for this guy, you do want to leave the machine on. What it does, it will circulate your white ink for you. So if you're not going to print every single day, it's not going to be an issue. Our machine takes care of that.
Fantastic. All right, so we got some prints coming up here. Now, Vince, what would you say is step two on our ingredient list recipe card there?
You know, a huge step with any printer, especially our DTF printer, is that you want to make sure the film's loaded correctly. If the film's not loaded correctly, one, it's not going to print, your margins might be off, you might get some really bad ghosting or overlaying, so you want to make sure our film is loaded correctly.
Now, Vince, this is the R. Does that mean it can do rolls only?
No, so the R does stand for roll, which is nice, but you can feed sheets into this as well. You can do up to 13 by 19 sheets, which is super important. But one thing, guys, to note, while the machine is on, moving back and forth, don't cut it. Esteban's a trained professional, so he knew what he was doing. But while the machine's operating, please don't cut it. We get that issue every now and then. So, but yeah, this can take sheets up to what size is?
So up to 13 inches wide. I believe we got a 1-footer in there right now, so it can accommodate a variety of different roll options as well as the sheets. So if you need to get that one job in, you can throw in an individual cut sheet, you can send a quick job on the roll. I'd say it's probably a little more efficient cost-wise to purchase in roll quantity. The more you get, the more you save, right?
Yeah, one of the biggest benefits is not having to feed a sheet every single time. I like being able to print on the roll, cut my design, and then go ahead and do my next step. But with our software, we've made it really easy. What software are we using today?
Well, today, guys, we're running the fan favorite Cataling Digital Factory. It's the DTF version, V10. We got a variety of different videos on our YouTube channel where you can take a look at some of the awesome features. As you can see, I'm literally dragging and dropping my images into my queue. I've got the resolution profile already formulated for our water-based textile ink. So you're gonna get the optimum resolution, optimum speed. We'll go ahead and get another job sent right now, but super quick ripping, and then once it's received on the printer, you'll see the roll action start to take place. It's gonna lay down that CMYK and then a nice light white overprint in one pass.
And so the beauty of it, though, it is technically a RIP software that we have, and so you can add multiple passes of white, you can adjust your colors inside the software. You can do some editing, you can knock out the black, you can knock out the white, knock out colors. So there is a bunch of cool features inside Cataling that you can do. But for most of our customers that use Photoshop, use Corel, all they're doing is having to talk to the printer, drag, drop. And then on the roll, the beauty of it is that I can send like 20 jobs at one time if I wanted to, and it all just print in a row.
Bingo. All right, I'm gonna give them a couple of our little items that we're gonna be having on the Black Friday promotion next week. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We're gonna be going through the whole list. Now, as far as vinyl, I mean, we've been working with Prisma Vinyl for a long time here. We got a few different options, not just regular colors, right?
No, so Prisma Vinyl is super popular. We have our standard, we have some puff colors that I know are extremely popular, but we have pretty much every color you can think of. And so if you are in the market for vinyl, it's a perfect time to pick up.
Now, which ones this say are gonna be on sale?
I think this is all types and all sizes, so.
Boom, there we go. That's the first one. All right, so moving along back to our ingredient list here, we talked about software. Now, step 4 is going to be powdering the wet print. Now, today we're going to be powdering by hand with the all-new DTF Station Black Hot Melting Powder. This is going to be great for your darker fabrics if you're experiencing any kind of static powder around your images transferring with your graphics. We don't want that. But also, if you're working on tricky material, Vince, how would you explain what dye migration is to our audience?
Yeah, dye migration is when you're printing on something that has a lot of poly content, and so when you press it onto the shirt, the color of the shirt is dyed that color. So if it's a red polyester shirt, it's actually a white shirt that's dyed red. And so what happens is that dye actually will sink into your actual print and change the color of it. So if Garfield's supposed to look orange, you might look kind of red because it dye migrates. This black powder actually helps with that, so you won't get any dye migration on that. And we are using our film that we're using with this guy, right?
Correct. We got the new DTF Station Hot Peel. We're gonna get this powder cured. We're gonna apply this live on screen. You can see how the hot peel action works. There's a couple ways to go about that peel when we get to that step. Now, we mentioned we're powdering by hand. Vince, with a roll system like this, what would be maybe a more efficient way to powder our wet DTF prints?
Yeah, so with our Prestige R, there is something called our Sizmo 13, which are actually fully automated shaker powder applicators. If you're not sure what that is, essentially we can take this roll and hook it up to the end of our machine. It'll go through the machine, it'll drop powder on top of it. As it gets powdered, it'll actually, what S1 is to reflex the film. Inside the machine, it has something that rotates, it'll hit the film, knock off all the excess powder, go through a curing oven, and end up on a take-up reel complete. It's a fully automated system that you want to get with your Prestige R. You can use an oven as well, or you can do it by hand as well, but the Sizmo 11 or 13 is just super automated.
Fantastic. And you covered our next step there. It was step 5, flicking the film. And you mentioned that powder shaker dryer, it does smack off all the powder for us?
It does, and it's pretty aggressive. And so, as we can show our viewers again how you did that though, because a lot of the technical calls I get, there's too much leftover film. This is a strong guy. He's flicking it pretty hard. I'm not afraid that things gonna fall off or any powder. it's ready to go. There's no extra powder anywhere on the film because you flip it all off. That's what we're looking for.
Now there we are. Now the next step in the DTF process, we print our images, we've applied our film, our powder, we flicked off the excess. Now that powder shaker he was talking about is a drying system. So with the take-up reel, you're gonna have fully completed, ready to apply, ready to store, ready to sell transfers. Now, for a lot of us here, if you don't have one of those yet, we have other options, right? Maybe we haven't gotten that curing oven, maybe we have just a heat press.
Yep.
How would we go about doing something like that?
Yeah, so if you have a heat press, particularly a swing-aways are made it a lot easier. What I want to do though, this is a huge step, and it will speed up your curing time almost in half, is he's closing the heat press on the bottom platen to get the bottom platen really hot. And so we want to close it for at least about 20 seconds or so. So we're going to go ahead and open this now. So now the bottom platen is extremely hot, and so we're going to go ahead and load the film like such. And then we're going to bring this back over. Now, we are hovering here, and it is about 2 inches away from the actual film. It's still a little farther away than I'd like, and so you can actually take certain material, like a shirt or something, and get it closer, or you can do what we do here, we hover it by hand, like such.
There we go.
Closer the better.
Now this is probably gonna, I'd say, be the most accessible way to cure it, but it is gonna be also the least efficient. If this is your primary means of direct-to-film transfer curing, if you'll notice, my heat press is basically occupied, meaning I can no longer continue applying my transfers. So if this is your workflow, I'd perhaps maybe say, have your transfer preparation day or part of your day, and then you can switch over to actually applying them, trying to be as efficient as possible. So this is going to be the most cost-effective way, but it wouldn't be necessarily ideal for scaling your business upwards for maximum growth. But you already have a heat press you're applying, so you can work with what you have until you get to that point where you need something like an oven or a take-up reel system. But basically this is a building block system. It looks like a whole print shop on a desktop.
Yeah, and I always tell customers too to speed up your actual workflow. You know, having multiple heat presses is great, but also getting that curing oven, if you don't have a Seismo, curing oven will save you tons of time, and it'll free your heat press, which is great.
There we go. We got some more viewers joining in. Again, thank you guys so much for letting us start your weekend early. We got Printing Studios joining us, O'Malley14. I see we got Christopher Leva in that house dropping some hearts. Thanks so much for joining in. Johnny 00, Work by Lay. For all of you watching on YouTube, thank you guys so much. I hope the comments are back on. We will be getting to those in just a moment. Vince, why don't you give them those first 3 items on our list that'll be on the Black Friday special?
Yeah, so sublimation is huge, guys. In our industry, there are so many different substrates that you can actually sublimate onto. But really the popular ones that we see a lot of trends towards is mugs. 11 and 15 ounce mugs in particular are just the most popular. Any restaurant you go to that sells or serves coffee, they use 11 ounce mugs. The amount of business for mugs is endless, and so the 11 and 15 ounce mugs will be on Black Friday. What else is there?
Alright, let's see. We're also going to have, keeping in the sublimation theme, we're going to have some pillowcases, great holiday gift, decorative, in the bedroom, in the workplace, on the couch. You can customize those in a permanent and long-lasting way. Those are going to be on the sale as well. And I see that heat pressure working there. That's the DTF Station Prisma Swing. It looks like that's going to be on the Black Friday deal. Limited quantities while supplies last. And then also the Sentry, which is going to be the clamshell. That's the manual open and close. Those are both going to be on the Black Friday deals. Make sure you guys stay tuned for all the pricing information to follow.
Yeah, if you're doing any sublimation, a swing away is recommended because it can be thicker substrates. It just gives more even pressure, and so keep that in mind. If your goal is to get into sublimation or even DTF with transfers, a swing away is kind of a better option, and it will be on our Black Friday sales.
There we go. And you heard Vince mentioning, as far as increasing your workflow, your efficiency, your productivity. If any of you guys have been to the trade shows this year, we had kind of a new contestant on our trade show floor lineup. We had a dual station system. It's going to have 2 different platens, so that while one item is being pressed, you're getting the next one staged up. If you have an employee doing this, there's no downtime. There's no waiting for the next option. So that's going to be ideal there if you guys are looking at expanding your print operation there. The Proxima dual station auto heat press will be on there. And then, man, that's a fun one. What machine is that, Vince?
Yeah, so that's our T-Folder Pro, and so if you haven't seen it before, it sounds like what it is. It's a fully automatic t-shirt folding system that has a couple different presets that you can adjust. But basically, if you're tired of folding shirts, or you're a big operation and you're spending half your day folding, bagging shirts, this is definitely the right product for you.
Fantastic. All right, how are those transfers coming out? Are we looking at a nice Curiette on there?
Yeah, so with our black powder, it's a little bit harder to see because we are looking for that orange peel texture, but actually, if you hold at a correct angle here, you can kind of see that glossiness here. where I can touch it and it feels like an orange peel is what we're looking for. And so these are done. Now with the heat press, I will say this, some of this area is not as cured as much as this, and so I will rotate my design and let it sit under here for about another 15 or 20 seconds, and then we'll be good to go.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Now, if you did not know, we are one of the leading suppliers of the eco-free line of film equipment, products, and all sorts of different accessories and items for your print operation. We're going to have the Mr. T2 pre-treat machines. Those are going to be also part of the Black Friday deals. So if you guys have been pre-treating by hand, you guys can step into the 21st century, get an automated pre-treat machine, maximize your efficiency, use less pre-treat and get higher consistency. That's going to be on there as well.
Yeah, and then if you have a DTG machine and you're not using a machine to pre-treat your garments, you're missing out. You're kind of skipping a step. By hand is doable, but again, if you are using direct-to-garment, you want to make full capabilities, get quality prints every single time, use a pre-treat machine.
And speaking of direct-to-garment, for all of our Epson DTG owners, I'm talking about the F2100, the F2000, the F3070. EcoFree has a complete platinum set. So if you guys have looked at other platinum options, you know they're not cheap, you know you need them. So whether you're looking to go from the 1620, you already got the 1416, maybe you want the 10x12, 7x8, you're going to have the full set available. That's going to be part of the deal. All the EcoFree platinums, individual sizes, that's going to be part of Black Friday.
Yeah, you know what, that's one keep going over.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, you know, so what's big is film. DTF film is not all created the same. We have a few different ones. We have a DTF station film, which is awesome. We have an EcoFree. We also have a Kodak film. Kodak film is what's going to be on our Black Friday deal. It is pretty thick film actually, so it can hold a lot of ink and it transfers very smoothly. So Kodak film is a good time to get your sheets or rolls if you are doing DTF. It's compatible with pretty much all your DTG, DTF printers out there. And then also another brand that we like to use a lot. What is this?
That's the STS. Man, you know, like Vincent said, we have a few different brands that we offer. We've gone through testing of 30 plus different films globally, and through our rigorous testing, these are the ones that we know are going to be reliable, available, and supportable. Meaning that we're not going to sell you guys stuff that we can't help you with down the road. So to speak on that STS, they're all great. They all have their pros. You know, I'd say what makes them very unique. With the STS in particular, I would say this is probably the most resistant to static. Static's usually what's going to give you that extra powder around your image. So the STS film, it's a cold peel. That's a great option to check out. I mean, the few options that we do carry, those are through thorough testing, so those are the ones we trust. And it looks like we got some more, right? We talked about STS, Kodak, and...
Yeah, you know, real quick touching on that though, tech support-wise, whenever we get a call, first thing I ask is, what film are you using? Because I need to know what film you're using. Like Esteban mentioned, static is a huge factor when we're doing DTF, and so, oh, that came out perfect.
These are good to go. Alrighty, so let's get back over here. We finished step 6, we cured the powder. Now it's time to apply the transfer. Vince, we got Turkey Garfield and these cute little pumpkin pies. I'm gonna make you one. Which should
I'm
you
a big
want?
pumpkin pie fan, so let's go that route.
Alright, let's go. So we got these here already ready to apply. These have already been powdered and cured. Let's go ahead and segment this off. Vince, you want to give them a couple more Black Friday items while we're getting this ready?
Yeah, you know what? I forgot to mention the EcoFree and Hot Peel film sheets. That's extremely popular. It's our new Hot Peel. So once we press it, we can peel it right away. I want to say it has the best hand feel of the transfer papers that I felt. It feels close to Plastisol or a screen print transfer, so keep that in mind if you're looking for that. Also, I know you touched base very quickly on EcoFree and Inkjet printable vinyl, but we do have printable vinyl as well. So if you are in that market, have a solvent latex printer, let us know. We have vinyl for you.
Fantastic. I see we got some more options and more viewers coming in. My boy Patrick Ali with Season North America, stealing his chef look. I love it. Hey, I got it for you, Diddy. Thank you so much. So we got Chantel Corona joining us. We got Yan Y Designs, Ron, Kareem 40. We got a bunch. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This will be available for viewing on Instagram after if you want to get a recap of what is going to be on sale. Let's go ahead and we talk about pocket logo placement. I think we even did an entire video on pocket logo placements as far as getting the right positioning. Should we show them a quick demo on that?
Yeah, I think for all of our trade show shirts, Esteban is our go-to guy. I've watched his video several times, so I'm pretty good at it. What do you look for when you're doing a left chest piece?
Alright, left chest pieces are very easy to mess up, guys. The wrong placement can have it up around the neckline, it can have it over the armpit. I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to get perfect positioning no matter what size garment or transfer. So firstly, the middle of your DTF transfer should always coincide vertically with the edge of your neck collar. Right here should be the middle point. That's going to give you a good center position no matter what size garment. So I'm going to start there. Got the middle of my pumpkin pie. The second coordinate, as far as how deep, is going to correlate with the bottom of the arm sleeve right here. This stitching is going to be our other cross point. So depending on how tall your transfer is, you can go a little higher or lower, but usually this is going to give you in a great ballpark area, the collar edge right here and the bottom of that sleeve seam. And now you'll notice I have my stitchings right here still on my platen. Vince, we should move these off to get even contact, right?
Yeah, you never want to close your heat press on your seams, or if you're doing something like a denim jacket that has buttons or zippers, you never want to close it on it because you're never going to get even contact. That's just going to mess up your transfers.
Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and get our protective sheet over here, and then we're going to be pressing this for about 320 degrees Fahrenheit for between 15 to 20 seconds. Typically, the smaller the transfer, the less time. If it's more of a full-size print, you would want to give it more of that full 20 seconds. So we're going to give this one about 15 here. Now we talked about a lot of the items on here. One thing we haven't touched on is going to be the white toner laser printers. Do we have some equipment and supplies that are going to be part of the sale?
Yeah, so if you are in the market for white toner, which is still an awesome option, we do have our iColor 560 and 650 available as well. So if you need different sizes, we do have that. So Esteban just pressed it. He's going to go ahead and give it a little quick rub down for good luck. And he's going to go ahead and give us a nice peel.
That was a pretty hot peel. You guys saw this live on camera. It came right out of the press. Give it a quick rub down there for about maybe 3 seconds. If you don't want to do the rub down, I would say maybe count 5 Mississippis just to let the ink and everything settle on here. Now, it looks great, but we're not done yet, right?
Yeah, so there's a thing called the finishing press. And so actually what I like to look for in a transfer when I peel it is if there's any ink left over. So this is a perfect transfer. I can see through it. We're good to go. But Esteban's going to hit it again right now for about 5 seconds. This is actually going to mat down the transfer itself, give it a better hand feel and finish.
Do I need to change my settings, my pressure for this finishing press?
No, that's the best part, is that we leave it all the same. Again, press, peel, hit it again for 5 seconds, just ready to go.
Awesome.
I get to keep the shirt, right?
You can keep the shirt. Fine, that's for you.
It's a large, so we're good.
There we go. Alright, we got a few other items here. Alright, so just kind of to recap, we got our sublimation blanks. That's going to be our popular drinkware items, the 11 ounce, the 15 ounce, white and black. We got our sublimation pillowcases. As far as heat press, we got the DTF Station Prisma Swingaway, and then the not pictured manual clamshell Sentry, and then we got that dual. You want to give a couple more there?
Yeah, you know what, I know Esteban touched on the dual heat press, but it's actually our most popular thing at the show. I think it steals a lot of the spotlight from our printers because it does have a dual station. If you are doing transfers, like Esteban mentioned, you can load one, get the next one ready. Comes with a laser alignment system, comes with a stand, super affordable. I know for Black Friday it's going to be even more affordable, so can't spoil any pricing, but if you are looking for a dual shuttle heat press, it's the way to go.
That's right, guys. Again, make sure you're getting our newsletters, check your spam, check your promotional folders, make sure we're added to your main inbox so you don't miss out on any of these discounts and deals. A lot of these will be while supplies last. So you're going to get the breakdown on Wednesday, official breakdowns, percentages, and all that good stuff. Price is going to go live on Thanksgiving Thursday, and it's going to run for about 4 days. It's got limited time on these. There's really only a few times a year we do a kind of sale like this. And in e-commerce, obviously the Black Friday, Thanksgiving weekend is probably one of the biggest.
Yeah, this whole list of stuff that's on sale, guys, are popular items that are in high demand. So if you are looking for probably the best price of the year, this is the way to go.
There we go. Awesome, awesome. You want to show them a little bit more of the DTF stations with the black powder there? I know that we got the big size for that there, right?
Yeah, so we have different sizes. This is our 1 kilogram, which is our most popular quantity. This will actually last you a very long time because this guy here, like I said, he uses a tub. You can keep recycling it over and over. So every time you have a film, whatever falls off goes into the tub, flick it off, and it'll come back in here. So again, guys, we sell it in the kilogram or the pound. Get the kilogram. It's going to last you forever.
There we go. We got more viewers coming in. Thank you so much for that, Vince. We got Dollar VTD, Royal Ribbon Printing. Shout out to Jake Beltran over there in Philly holding it down. Fly Eagles Fly. We got some more here. Since 82. Now we got a question here from Blue Eyes Designs. What's your thought on glitter DTF film?
You know, so we've done some testing on it already. We are looking to carry that in the future. There are a few things with glitter films that we're kind of a little wary of. One is that the whole coating on the transfer actually transfers to the shirt, so not just your design becomes glitter, so we're working with a different manufacturer on that. Two, when you're printing digital ink, sometimes it'll splatter back onto the print head, and so we're trying to find a reliable source. I would be careful with glitter films right now, because if you get glitter on the print head, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble.
There we go. You know, that's one of the nice things that you can take peace of mind in knowing when you're working with All American Print Supply. We make sure we give you guys just the very best. Not just reliability and quality product, but also safety. So the brands that we've chosen to partner with have CPSI certification as well as Ecotech safety passports, which means it's safe for your manufacturing staff to operate and produce around, but also safe for your customers of all ages to wear the garments. Am I right?
Yeah, a big thing, guys, especially with powder, it's an adhesive, so we don't want to be breathing it in. Usually with our shaker powder systems, we have our purifiers hooked up. Even if you're using a heat press, please have good ventilation. It's important. We don't want to be breathing that stuff in.
There we go. All right, I think we got time for one more transfer. Vince, you want to give me a quick pre-press on here? I'm not going to steal your pumpkin pie shirt as much as I want. I might make one for myself after this. I know we got one for Michael we're putting aside for his lovely little daughter. That's going to be for her Thanksgiving little present. And you guys can see here, Vince is basically just going to give us a quick pre-press. He's going to lay those fibers down nice and flat, basically iron the shirt. Now, why is the pre-press so important, Vince?
Yeah, because when we get our shirts out of the box, if they're hanging, they're not nice and flat. They're wrinkled. So basically, we're just ironing it out so when we do lay the transfer on it, it's nice and flat. That way, when we transfer it, it's going to transfer evenly. So I'm only doing this for a few seconds just to get the moisture out, like such. It's going to be nice and flat there.
All right, let's see if Vince is paying attention, guys. Can you give him a little demonstration on the Perfect Pocket logo placement?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure right now. That's why I'm going to master this.
All right, so step one.
See how that's going to hold it down so you can actually see what you're working on. So again, we're going to go ahead and make a little line from here to here, and then we're going to go straight down. Depending on how big the transfer is, we're going to go ahead and line it like such. I want it kind of in the middle there. Again, we're making a line here. Don't go based off the tag if you're going to a centerpiece, because these are never in the center. So that looks good to me. Esteban's going to have to wear this, so if it's messed up.
Thank you. No, I think it looks great. And then we're always going to want to protect our heating element from any residue, any kind of ink, any blemishes. This is going to be our thick double-sided coated sheet. And you can get a few uses out of these individual papers, right?
Yeah, so that's the best part. You can use like parchment paper, but you get like one or two uses. Our double-sided coated sheets, I believe we sell in a 100-pack, and they're super inexpensive, and you can keep reusing them. They are on that list, and so you need to fix them up, but now's the time.
There we go. So on that last transfer you saw, I rubbed it for about 3 seconds. The other option would be to wait 5 Mississippi. So 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi,
And then you
4
have
Mississippi,
to rub it.
5 Mississippi. And you guys saw this just came out of the machine. Let's give it a peel. There you go, guys. No baloney. You saw it right there in front of your very eyes. That is DTF Station new hot peel available at aprintsupplyco.com. We're going to give this one more quick finishing press. We got any questions, anything from the audience while we're still here live? Again, thank everyone so much. Shout out to Graphics Bars, my dude George Barrios. Thanks so much for joining us today. What do we got here? Anybody else? Blue Eyes Designs loves the eco-friendly hot peel. That's one of Vince's favorites.
Yeah, hot peel definitely is the way to go. The hand peel is just amazing. And so this finishing press, how long is that for?
About 5 seconds.
I mean, we're
That's okay, that's okay. Alrighty guys, well I want to thank everyone from YouTube for joining us. This is our very first YouTube Live. All of our loyal Instagram friends, family members, loved ones, and followers. Ooh, thank
How do I do with the product? How do I do with the placement?
you. You guys be the judge. Did he nail it? I think he nailed it. That looks pretty dark. That looks pretty darn good. Well, I think that's going to about wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our Black Friday Thanksgiving preview. Thank you for the lovely cream pie.
You're very welcome, Esteban. We look forward to all these deals. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, guys.
We'll see you on the next one. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube.
We love you.